Okay. I had something completely different to begin today's call with, and I don't remember what it is, just because it'll come back, just because of the call I was just on. A long time ago, I took a course, and it was a marketing course, and one of the pieces of advice she gave was to um, look at the subject we're focusing on, and then go to Amazon, go to YouTube, and read reviews.
Yes.
On
Yes.
Whatever other people are saying about the book or the course or whatever. And I had forgotten all about that because the call I was just on, she's a photographer become coach, and she has this whole thing about saying yes to what did she say? She's talking to women 50 plus, and just encouraging women to say yes to the dreams that they weren't able to reach for in the past. You know the story. And the one piece of gold I received from the call was from someone who commented and saying that she feels her look has become very boring. And I was like, oh, you're my person. But the reason I was excited is because it's usually, we're so close to what we're doing. And it's hard to get out of ourselves in order to communicate with the people who we're here to serve. So before we get into what we're going to talk about, I think, going to people's websites or webinars or whatever, people who are doing something similar to what we want to do, and just see what other people are saying, how other people are responding. It's going to give us good communication points as to how to communicate what we're doing in our work. Is that clear? Do we get that?
It's funny you're saying it, because I read, I think actually today, just on Amira Rahim's blog, and she was writing about how to steal like an artist, and it was similar, because she was talking about how to get inspired by other people, but to search for what they're missing, what you can do better, and then improve from there.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's exactly.
Exactly. And so today's call had nothing to do with fashion or style or anything, right? It had to do with a bigger picture, which was reaching out for the dreams that you feel but then I was able to receive this one nugget, which is priceless, so I just thought I would share that. And now I remember
what you wanted to do the first time.
Yes. So we're at the beginning of the year, and we've done a lot of work, but I'm sure you'll agree with me when I say it's going to be a cycle. We're going to keep on going back to things and refining things, and so coming back to not necessarily square one, but coming back to who are we? Who do we want to connect with online? And how do we want to do that? We have our dossiers. And Camilla, I would love to create yours for you if you want me to.
Oh, yeah. I would love that. Been really jealous of the others. It's really good.
Yeah, so you'll just need to answer a bunch of questions for me. That's all. But we have these, we have all this information. We've mined all these things. So to revisit the question of who are we as artists? What are we giving to the world? Who do we want to connect with? And how do we want to do that? Are these valid questions?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay. So, Alison, are you ready to go first?
I don't know what I'm supposed to be talking about. What am I meant to be talking about?
Okay, I'll repeat it. So, okay, let me take you for example. You are so consistent with doing everything that we have to do. You know, you're posting on Instagram every day. You're, you know, consistency is your thing, right? So I'm asking you now, if it's the very first time I come to visit your Instagram, who are you as an artist, right? Do you want to connect with me? Who do you want to connect with? Who do you want to stay? Why do you want them to stay? Right? And what are you giving me?
All the questions I keep asking myself.
Okay. So let's dive into it. Let's dive into it. Let me go one at a time. One at a time. So I come to your Instagram. What do you want my first impression to be?
Just gonna go get my headset.
I really don't know. I'm completely lost with this, which is why I can't work out who my ideal client is and how I'm not able to, because I don't really know what it is I want to do. I keep being told I've got to stick to one thing. I don't want to stick to one thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But you have stuck with one thing. That's my point. That's why I said you've been consistent.
I don't think I have. I mean, I've done all those pen and ink drawings, which are just, I can do. Well, small ones I can do in an hour. I mean, it's almost doodling, but that's so there's the pen and ink things. You've seen my coral pieces. You've seen some of my screen printing pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what else I put up on my Instagram account. I think that's only. Sure, I put up more than that though. I put up the work that I've done for charities.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to be known for that. I don't mind doing it, but I'm not. That's not what I'm just going to do because it doesn't pay enough.
But
So
it does get you a lot of exposure.
What do you want to be known for?
I'm not really sure. Oh, there's a lino print up there. I'm just looking through what I've done before.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose in colourful artwork. I mean, that's the only thing that I can. I want my work to be colourful.
Okay, let's start with that. It's fine. Let's start with that. So I come to your Instagram, and it's true. It is an explosion of color, right? And so that's you would want me to stay because and I know these things because of the work we've done. I know you say color is your thing, but I wanted you to say it.
Okay.
So you're going to be attracting me because I love color too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then in your daily posts, what could be the most exciting way to talk about color from these different dimensions, different perspectives? An interesting dialogue about color. Is that something that feels inspiring?
Well, the only thing I can think, what immediately comes to mind is to intellectualize it. So to talk about, I'm happy to talk about what different colours do to mood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh.
Nick's my book all about colour psychology. I'm
And
happy.
maybe personal. What does the color mean to you? Why do you paint colorful? Things like that. I would love to know that if I were a potential client. It's because it's similar to now. It's similar to what I'm working on at the moment. But you know what? Why are colors? Why does it mean so much to you?
I don't. Because I don't like boring beige. I suppose I don't know.
That's a start. I mean, that's a perfect start. Exactly the way you said it. I don't like boring beige. That would definitely captivate me if I didn't like boring beige either, and I loved color. And what I loved about what you just said was then you showed your sense of humor, you know, in this one sentence. You know, so this is what I'm trying to get us to you know, get into to become our daily practices as we communicate online, because ultimately this is still about how to connect with our people online. You know. So I love this. I don't like boring beige. That's you. That's you. That's the conversation. That's it right there. So
There's your tagline right there, Allison.
yeah. Well, yes. Let me see. What's your bio? I'm going to look.
Really ridiculous. I'm sure. I don't even remember.
Do you feel like to me it comes back to how it makes you feel while you're doing it. I'm guessing that makes you feel good to use the color, and maybe what you're trying to get across to people is this is what I do. I feel better when I paint like this. You know, it's an outlet. It's a relief.
Well, I mean, I don't. With most of the ink things I do, I don't actually paint, and I suppose what it is I put all these colours together, whether I paint them or whether I put them on with ink and I blow them across the page. I put these things by each other and then I allow them to take over. And I suppose, if anything, it's because everything in my life is so controlled. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I have a house to look after. I have to control those things. I'm still fighting the bloody credit agencies because I was hacked. So the lovely thing for me is that when I put all this colour down on the page, it does what it wants to do. I'm no longer in control. I stand back and I take enormous pleasure at watching those colours do their own thing. Now, to be able to explain that to somebody who isn't an artist.
See, just come back and watch the replay and just say just that.
I agree. Yeah,
I'm serious.
You enjoy playing with ink because it helps you balance. You paint to balance. It's the same for me.
Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Just come back and watch the replay and
great.
Just write down every single word, because that's it. You know, I'm on your Instagram right now, Allison G. Saunders. Get your free guide to buying art for your home when you sign up for the monthly newsletter here, which includes news, tips, and ideas. Yes, it's very informative. But if you led with, I don't like boring beige,
that would catch your eye.
That would be a game changer. So so this is all I would really like us to build on this.
Yeah. And Allison, since I know you're in the Academy, one thing I listened to this morning that was I just was so inspired, was his his conversation with Krista Harris.
Yeah.
Did you see that, Marianne?
I think that's one of them I listened to. Yeah.
I haven't locked into any of it yet. I don't.
Oh, shame on you! It's huge. It's a huge resource, and that conversation was just what I needed to hear this morning. I came into the studio and just started flinging paint. It was great.
Okay.
Your daughter. Sorry, that's that mother button that's switched and you can't switch it off, isn't it?
Okay, so yes, so Alison, in this just in the past 10 minutes, I think you have enough content for like 10 days, really. And just to expand on it and talk about the different things that you talked about, the loss of control when it comes to paint, and the fact that there is control. And I know you probably don't want to get too personal online, but it isn't. It's how we'll get to know you. So and I really would like to see I don't like boring beige.
I'm just doing it now.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Is there anything you would like to share with us?
Did you see what I posted?
The video.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't had time to watch it, but I saw it.
It was just, he's just telling us, I think, everything we know, but in a different way. And sometimes when you hear it in a different way, it resonates in a different way, and it kind of sparks something off in a different way. And I just thought it was interesting. I'm certainly not paying him $199 a month to be part of his affiliate or whatever it is group. Not happening. But it was interesting just to listen. The beginning bit,
Okay.
where he talks about the 3 things that you need to do is to capture attention, market and advertise, or something like that. I can't remember what the 3 things are, or marketing and advertising and sales, something like that. But it's just a different way of looking at the same problem that we're all facing every day anyway. So
Okay.
I thought that was worth watching. I'm trying to think what we did. I'm having a bit of a nightmare. I'm kind of surrounded by paper at the moment. Oh, Beata, I got your changes. Thank you very much. I'm going to do that.
Thank you, Alison.
This week, but I haven't had anybody else's. Come on, girls. I
don't have it. I've looked in spam and everything else.
I will send it again. I promise I will do it as soon as I've stopped talking.
Thank you.
You got yours, Camilla?
No.
I'll send it to you again as well.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else. No, I'm
pretty sure I didn't. Well, I just got your newsletters. Yeah.
No, I've spent the last few days. I've been to take my son back to university and done all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to get the heart finished so that I can start the River Thames.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay. Beata, it's your turn.
My turn. So, I think I would like to feel alive and excited, and that's what I want from the others. So now I'm targeting those people who are exhausted in their job and burned out, and trying to connect to them.
Okay.
So with my posts and also with my vision board workshop.
Okay. Okay,
So
that's clear.
I started recently, not with a big success, but at least that's what I'm doing now. I'm not sure that will be the direction, but currently I think that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. So obviously I follow you on Instagram too, and I've subscribed to your newsletters, and you are also very consistent. You're very consistent in posting and everything. And again, we need to see more of you. So what you just said, this desire to feel alive and excited, to communicate that, and also to create a bridge for someone who is feeling exhausted, is feeling overwhelmed, and could see your posts and your art as the bridge to this feeling that you are desiring for yourself. You know, so it could be in the form of short, you know, a sentence or two, a story about what you did today, how a painting made you feel, you know, to just continue having that conversation over and over again. So that if I came to, so let me go to your Instagram. I want to go back to the first impression. Okay. Okay, so emotion-driven, abstract, and figurative art. If you could take that and make it personal, you know, so you don't have to change because that's what your art is. It is emotion-driven and figurative art. But if you could take that sentence and make it personal, so that when I come to your page, I feel like, oh, she's speaking to me, right? To have that feeling of she's speaking to me, and then continue having that conversation. Because again, you're very consistent. You know, you're very consistent with both your posts and your newsletter.
Yeah, this copywriting is still difficult for me. But I'm going to try.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't look at it as copywriting. We're artists. If you looked at it as connecting, you know, with every post, with every newsletter, to ask yourself, how am I connecting with this person who's feeling overwhelmed? How am I connecting with this person who's exhausted? How am I showing her my search and seeking excitement and alive and being alive? You know. So,
Thank you. I'm going to try. Constantly trying.
Yeah, we're all figuring it out. I don't have it figured out either. So, is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I have a question. My Linktree, where I linked my several pages, is regularly broken on Instagram. So I need to check it at least twice a day. Go back to Linktree. Do not do too many things, but go back to the web page, and then it starts working again. Do you have any idea what I should do to to have it work permanently?
Do you have the opportunity to create your own link tree? I know that Rowena, she suggested it in the group, which was like you create your own landing page where you have your own links, because then you don't have to depend on Linktree. Yeah,
No.
so just a landing page with all the links you want to send people to, and then you can link to that. I think that's the best way to do it, because there's been a lot of problems with Linktree.
Yeah, a lot of people are complaining about Linktree.
Yeah.
Thank you, Camilla. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Great.
I think you use Wix, right?
Yes.
Is there a way to create a page on Wix which you don't publish?
Yes, I can do that.
Yes. Yeah, so that's what you need to do. You create and then, you know, just design the boxes just the same way. I have your Linktree open right now, and then just have the boxes and same thing.
And
then that way it could even be more branded.
Yeah, sure.
In your colors and everything. Okay.
Thank you. I will do that.
Can I just interrupt 1 second?
If
that's okay, and just say, Michelle, what's your email address?
Well, I mphoban@aol.com.
Say again.
mphoban P as in Page, Hoben, Hoben at AOL.com. I also have a Gmail account, but it's
Right, I'm just trying to type it in. Hobein.
no EN, no I. EN
at
AOL.com. I'm ancient. I'm in the dark ages.
The other thing is I don't have you. I mean, my computer's been playing up, but
you might have Hoben.Michelle at Gmail too.
Yeah.
let me try that one. Nope.
Well, your newsletter gets to me at the AOL.
Give me the other one. HOBEN.
Period. Michelle with one L.
Yeah.
At gmail.com.
Okay. I've just pressed send now.
Okay, so let me see if I get it. Which one did you use?
Both.
Okay.
I hedged my bets. And I also sent it to you, Camilla, too.
Great.
Just so that I can make sure. I was convinced I'd emailed you before, Michelle. Maybe I did it off this one.
No, I just your newsletter.
Okay.
It's not coming. Let me see if.
Oh, you might have to give it 5 minutes. It's got to cross the pond.
Okay.
I know there was something else I did want to say quickly.
Oh,
and that was...
I got it. AGS and
you asked us to do those questionnaires, the enneagram and something else. Yeah, enneagram.
Yeah.
And you thought we would all be 4s?
Apparently, you're not.
No, you're not.
I
I'm not
mean,
sure how I feel about that, but I'm a 5.
Oh,
I am too, really.
really? Wow.
and I'm a 2. Go figure.
1.
How do you feel about how does it make you feel?
What, being a 5?
Like, do you relate? Are you having these aha moments? Like, oh, that's why,
Not
are
really.
you having any of those?
Absolutely.
No. Okay.
No, not at all. I mean, some of it, yeah, okay, I accept, but not all of it. And I didn't feel. I know you had a bad reaction to it, Shirley, but I did. I just went, yeah, well, mainly right, but not all right.
Okay.
I didn't. But the trouble is, I do all these tests. And I'll do them 3 days later, and I'll get a completely different result. So,
I think mindset in the moment sometimes affects. I try to do it from as neutral a place as possible and be as honest as I can, because I know there's a part of me that wants things to be a certain way, and they may not be that way, really. That 5 hits me like a nail, man. It just, I couldn't believe it. In fact, it's a little embarrassing how well it describes my trying to shut up most of my social life out so I can make more time for painting.
Wow.
That's me.
Wow, that's fascinating.
No, I'm just a boring old cow that has no friends, so I don't have to worry about that.
Well,
and every time I say that to my friends, they say, "Well, I'm your friend." Yeah, well, you're the only one. And then and they say, "But we didn't have any friends." Well, they're not really my friends.
oh boy.
Well,
I don't accept that people might like me.
There you go.
Okay. Well, again, I told you how I felt when I found it. Initially, my reaction was violent. I was like, no. But then I went back, and my friends have been laughing at me all weekend. I found this graphic on Instagram which shows you how to self-care for each type. And one of the pieces of self-care for me is to lament. You know, I was like,
Oh, great.
It's a bit 1800s, isn't it? Lament.
who does that?
To let yourself do it.
What does it mean?
Yeah,
Lament?
I like that.
What does it mean?
To lament.
Yeah.
I need space to lament about life.
To let yourself feel about the things that didn't happen the way that you wanted them to. Instead,
Yeah.
Well, actually, strictly, it's the passionate expression of grief or sorrow, a complaint.
Yes.
Express regret or disappointment about something.
Yes. So
So basically, they're saying, stop being happy and stop being miserable.
Exactly.
I think it means that, for me, I see that as you aren't allowing yourself to feel your feelings, which sounds kooky. It sounds kooky to me because I think I feel them all. But you don't express, you stuff it, and eventually it makes you crazy. That's what I think. If you don't allow yourself to lament, you build a bomb inside yourself that's going to go off sooner or later.
Yes. So,
but not too much lamenting,
No, that's the pie. It's not.
How do we figure out the right dose?
I'll send you the graphics. They're so interesting. It's fascinating. Let me just show you what it looks like. Because again, this is about self-care. I was having a conversation yesterday, and there are all these things people preach about self-care. So you see, it's a pie. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So self-care looks different for all of us.
I hope the pink isn't the lamenting part, the large chunk.
No, thankfully, no. The largest for me, the largest chunk is taking time, slowing down.
Okay, good. Slowing down, good.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is the next one is music that helps you emote.
Very cool.
My mother would always complain, "Why are you playing these sad songs? Stop it!" So anyway, yes, I'll post all these graphics. I find them to be very, very interesting. So, okay. Beata, is there anything else? No.
What was the website for that?
Nothing.
Pardon?
I'm just trying to look up self-care tips for fives.
Yeah.
Let me send you yours. I'm sending you yours right now, and let's see how you feel about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll post all of them in the group. You said it already.
Sorry to have hijacked your corner, Beata.
I didn't want to add anything.
Okay, I've sent it to you, so take a look. Okay. Let's see how you feel about it. Okay. I've sent it on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so Beata, is there anything else?
Nothing, yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Camilla, we've missed you.
Missed you too.
So tell us everything. Tell us how your holiday was, what you've been up to. Tell us everything.
Yeah, just want to start by mentioning I did the Enneagram test too, and I was a 4 and a 9, and I was like this because when I did the wealth dynamics, I was a Lord, which was basically just the control freak, and I wanted to be the creator so bad. So yay!
Okay, so
I like that test.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm not alone.
No, it's been good. I've been working as a freelancer since December, which means that sometimes I get a list and then I can say I can work that day, and that works really well with my husband.
Okay.
And it makes everything easier.
Good.
Yeah, so that's been so helpful because my working put my husband under a lot of stress, so it was a big problem. It didn't work, and I missed my daughter. So that's good. But I've been freaking out also a little bit because I've said goodbye to my steady paycheck, and it's right. And I feel like after I've had a week and a half where I had my daughter home from daycare, and I didn't work, and being away from my art and my business, just as it turned out, just makes me all my doubt, it makes it come back. So I'm trying to get my momentum back here in January. Yeah, it's a good lesson. It's because previously when I've taken a break from my art, I've just kept waiting for it to come back, the flow and the momentum, and now I feel like I just have to get going and it will come back. Yeah, so it's good. I'm still, I have no idea how to make enough money, but we'll reach my revenue goals, but we'll see. We'll be fine. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's and what I've been I haven't been on Instagram, and I've just need a break and needed to figure things out, because it was really important for me to be honest and be vulnerable, and it was killing me, and I hadn't defined it enough for myself. I think for what reasons I wanted to be vulnerable and what I wanted to share. So I talked to Alison about this just before Christmas. I hated Instagram. It was too much. And today I've taken a day away from painting, and I've just focused on getting back to my why and my reason, and my paintings are colorful. So I don't want it to be about the depressing things. I want to be about honesty, but I also want people to see the colors and see the joy from the colors, because that's what it gives me. So I'm kind of trying to change my perspective. So that's in Scandinavia, most people live like really black and white and really clean. So I want to welcome back colors. That's my thing. And to remind people why we need colors in our life and what it does to us. So I've written an email about that today. I'm gonna send out at some point. And then that's one thing. And then I want to share my story, because I've had so little faith in myself, and I've been through so much stress and depression, that if I can turn my life around and do this, so can anyone. And that's another thing. But I want it still to be the positive angle that takes up the most place, I think, to survive in this also. Because otherwise I just get into these a stage where I just want to hibernate, and it's too much. So yeah. And that's, I want, when people see my Instagram, I want them to feel happy about the colors. So it should be the other way around. That's the main part, is the positive, and what the colors does to us. Yeah.
Okay. I would love to spend some time with you to go through all the things that we went through before the end of the year, because I think it'll help connect the dots. But
great.
Being a fellow 4, they say we like the darkness. I don't know. If you go to my Instagram right now, it's very dark, so it's true. But just off the top of my head, to show people that it's through the color that you get out of it. It's clear to me So I'll get in touch with you later, and we can spend some time and just connect the dots.
That'd be
Just so
great.
that it will be
It's
easier.
true. It's the, like I mentioned, it's the colors that give me happiness, and also it's the painting that gives me balance for getting out of my head. So it's
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And I just have one question. We're going to be talking about income in a couple of weeks, but
Okay.
what has worked for you? Because I know you've received a commission or two.
I have. I did. I did 5 last year, so that was 5 commissions, and I have 3 that I'm working on in January. And then I have my husband. He does all my marketing for me, apparently, because I'm terrible at it. But he's my wingman. So he has this consultant or something that comes into his shop, and he was like, oh, look, my wife, she paints, and now she wants us to come over, and she wants for the whole house, and also one of his friends wants the same. So I have 2 potential houses, which means maybe 10 paintings. So that's what keeps me calm. I know my lowest hanging fruit. I know who to contact when I finish the next 3 paintings. Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing to worry about.
No, it's everything will be all right. It's just it's just when I trust my thoughts too much, I get nervous.
Yeah.
And when it gets too hard working on the business and I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing, it would just be easier to go back to my job.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to.
Okay.
No.
All right. Yeah. You're good. You're fine.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else?
No. I think that's all.
All right.
Just what I did today. I did a list building workshop with Amy Porterfield. I don't know if you've done it. It's free, which 1 hour, and actually gave me some good tips.
Yeah.
Also,
the queen of. Yeah, she's good. All right. Thank you. And we're happy you're back. I hope this time will work for you.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, the Friday is a problem because my husband isn't home, and that's 5 o'clock for me. But Monday is good, and I can freelance, so I can not work Friday nights, Monday nights.
I thought we were going to change it though. I thought because you're not volunteering, Shirley, we were going to make both of them 5.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't.
6
so Camilla, what
6
time?
o'clock your time.
What time?
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, then I can make Fridays also.
Yeah. So that's we're going back to. I just can't seem to convert the times. So okay.
So on Friday, it's 1 hour later.
It's the same time as it was today.
Today, okay. I can make that Friday.
Okay, wonderful. All right.
I can't find this. I sent you this link in Instagram. How am I supposed to read it?
It's as a message.
Oh.
The little click on the little arrow. Maybe because we haven't messaged each. No, we have.
Yeah.
We've messaged each other before on Instagram. But sometimes when you haven't messaged someone before, I need permission to get into your. Yeah, you've seen it.
Is that it? Just that paragraph?
Well, the pie. The pie is the whole self-care.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is there any way of getting that on a laptop so that I can?
I'll post all of them in our Facebook group. So.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, Marianne. Michelle, do you want to go because you have to go?
Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
I do have to go quickly. I came across something the other day. It's called the One-Page Marketing Plan, and it's offered on Amazon for, I think, about $2.99. It's very inexpensive, but they had this one sheet and you aren't going to be able to read it because some of it's in yellow, but I found it very helpful because it has very broad categories of before, during, and after a customer contact, and before is the prospect, and you list my target market, my message to my target market, the media I will choose to reach my target market. It's very simplistic, but nonetheless, it helps organize. And I found that the book itself is very valuable. It kind of makes me wonder why but it's not geared towards artists, certainly. It's geared toward marketing at large.
Okay.
So back to your questions, Shirley, I guess my biggest offer is still large paintings, but it would be coupled with hopefully getting this course marketed and getting the course complete. Okay. And what I want to be known for is being an inspiring teacher, or being a inspiring teacher, and having people grow into who they're going to be, and that my work has quality. So that's the effort that I want to put forth in trying to, Nicholas's course and Nicholas Wilton's course and everything that I'm doing, trying to push myself a little bit in different directions. So it's going to be, I've got my sleeves rolled up and I'm ready. There's some new energy that the new year has provided, which is kind of great. So yeah, so that's it for me. I think I don't
want to, and I don't want to just say that everything you said is simplistic, but for you, I think it's easier than for some of us, because I think teachers are thriving more online than anyone else when it comes to this.
That's true. That's really true. And I think it has to do with demographics, that the millennials and younger people want to be able to do it themselves. They don't want to necessarily acquire, acquisition. So
exactly. But the beauty of it is, again, I've seen it with so many successful artists. Their students are their collectors.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
the quality's got to be there. So I've got to keep on pushing that quality.
Absolutely. So with you, off the top of my head, and I know you will resist this, but I'll keep on saying it.
Okay.
I would envision your Instagram. You could even keep it simple and do the checkerboard. The checkerboard is simply, you post a painting, and then the next is a picture of you painting, or a little video, a 5-second video of you painting, and then you say something. I think it's as simple as that. So we'll dig into it some more. You have to go.
Okay. Thank you. I don't have to go quite yet. I've got 1 minute, but go ahead. And I may turn it on and because it might, and sort of when I actually hear, I will jump off. But
okay,
Marianne.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I just say, you said, Shirley-Ann, that you are aware that people that teach, their students are their best clients.
Absolutely.
Are we talking about students online or students on face-to-face? Is there a difference?
I think people who teach face-to-face have more success.
Right.
I've actually seen, I'm sure a lot of you know Flora Bowley.
Yeah.
I've seen people buy, even after they've gone to have a workshop with her, they've painted their own paintings like her, and then they buy her art. It's incredible. So that's what I've noticed.
Okay.
And I think it goes back to the word I started with. It's the connection. This connection with this person who, even though she's taught me, she continues to inspire me, and I just want more and more and more of her.
It's the personal energy that you're putting forth.
Yes.
That's really what they want.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen it with so many. Like I said, I'm in Kelly Folsom's group, and people are painting her the lessons every week, And they're the same people who are buying from her.
I suppose, though, because they're not able to reproduce work themselves that is of the same standard that she produces. And that whole set of self-doubt that my work is not as good as Kelly's, so I'm going to buy Kelly's anyway.
That could be a part of it, but I think it's just love, really. I think it's just the connection, because some of them are really good. But then they'll come again and say, I bought one of Kelly's paintings, you know. It's
but probably because they don't believe in themselves.
Oh, maybe, but you know what it is? I could have taken a class from any of my mentors and still, darn it, as soon as there was enough money in that bank account, the first thing I did was go out and get one of their paintings because it embodies their energy. And that's what I really wanted from them.
Yeah.
It wasn't how I felt about myself at all. It was about me possessing some piece of that energy, even if that was just a moment or two of their expression. It was a piece of them. And
I totally agree. I love Flora Bowley, and just seeing her paint, even though I took a workshop, the balance, her zen, all that I need for myself, even though she taught me how to paint, I would still want that from her painting. So I could totally, buy her.
Yeah.
I can touch it. Yeah, I can walk through the room and touch that painting. And it's a symbol of what I want for myself. It doesn't mean I don't think I can have it, but I can, there's something about it. I'm so glad that I went to the trouble to actually purchase a piece.
Yeah.
Even if I took classes, it wouldn't make any difference. I still wanted something.
Yeah. A word that came up for me right now is admiration. We admire these people. You know, and through admiration, we just continue to want more and more and more of them. You know, so I'm glad this word came up, because maybe a couple weeks from now, the question will be, what are we doing to have our audience, our community admire us? You know, so okay, Marianne, it's your turn.
What I would like people to get from my Instagram would be that they feel uplifted. They feel inspired. And I actually shared with my sister over the holidays that I have more fun putting photographs and positive affirmations up on my Instagram than I do actually putting up paintings. Because it goes more to the core of how I want to affect. And I try to share the same things on Facebook, and I feel very comfortable doing that kind of thing. It makes me feel good. I think that there's an artist in Canada who expresses her artist statement. I could use it exactly, basically, but I won't. She talks about how she deals with the chaos in her head, and how her paintings really are about having a release of that, making sense out of the things her five senses have taken in. And it comes out in an expression that she didn't expect. It all translates into something she didn't realize was there. I think that that's part of what I'm doing. And I think that I'm going to start writing more. And I'm going to start trying to connect through writing. And I've had a few responses that have come back on that. I think it's just it's a beginning, and that the artwork will follow up on that. And I'll share what my current expression is, as I also share my struggles through words. And we will see what this grows, because I think that people will relate. And I think that, as everybody else is using the word bridge, I think this is going to help some people bridge their feelings. And maybe they want to paint, and maybe they don't care to paint. Maybe they all want a piece of something, someone who's attaining understanding. Maybe that's a symbol for them.
Yes.
Of I can obtain understanding too of what I'm going through.
Yeah.
You're on this journey, and you're creating something physical out of, to have understanding. That's where it's going to start, and we will see where it goes from there.
I love that. I think that's yeah, before when we went through our dossiers last year, with you, we talked about the fact that it's going to have to be more holistic,
Hmm.
about your life, your thoughts. Your
Yeah.
paintings are a small part of this bigger picture that you're presenting.
And that's why I think this focus so totally on dollar signs for me
Mm-hmm.
is wrong for me. And that doesn't mean they won't show up, because I think they
Mm-hmm.
will.
Mm-hmm.
I think they will, but I think I've had too much energy going in that direction. So I'm going to start in a little softer.
Yeah.
Also, over the weekend, as I was having to sign up for my open studios again, I was trying to force a decision again on where to host a website. And I stepped back again and thought maybe I need to think about it differently. So I'm thinking that within this coming week, I'm going to have that figured out.
Mm-hmm.
I've also thought a little bit about some of what I discovered. They talk about different platforms and their effectiveness. And of course, everything's different according to what someone wants out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned Etsy, and they mentioned Saatchi,
Mm-hmm.
and how people who really don't want to spend all their time marketing think more along those lines of just putting their stuff up in a community. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, a lot depends on how good the work is. Again, quality will rise to the top, and how well you describe it. You've got to have finesse with how you put it in words,
Mm-hmm.
because that's also going to be a draw. Keywords. When people put in keywords on a search, what comes up? You've got to be thoughtful about that. I have thought about the possibility that maybe that was a solution for me up front
Mm-hmm.
versus trying to get something bigger in place. But I'm still considering. I'm not sure about that just yet.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Um, there's another teacher who I follow, and she has, you know, um, just before I took um, Alexis's class, I was debating between this other person. Her name is Alison Stansfield. I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone has.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I've met her.
Oh, you have? Oh,
Yeah.
really? Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That,
I've met her in person.
okay.
I had looked at her class too and didn't feel it.
Okay.
And people have actually approached me about her. Why don't you consider her? And for some reason, there
Hmm.
was something about it that did not pull me.
Okay.
Now maybe that would change, but again,
Hmm.
I've been approached a few times about her and still haven't
That's
felt the draw.
interesting. That's interesting.
And I think
Well,
it came back to not being far enough along in my desire to sell. It was still too much of the cart before the horse for me.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's probably generally the problem.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think she's highly thought of.
Mm. The reason why I was bringing her up is because I know you've talked about Shopify for a while. I've had Shopify for a year and I'm letting go of it.
Okay.
Not because I can't pay $30 a month. I mean, it's minimal, but it's, when we own these things, they take space in our psyche. It's what it is.
Right.
And Allison talks about, yes, post your art on your website and you can post the price, but usually, and especially with larger pieces, which I want to focus on, there's still going to be this direct communication, right? People usually don't just click and buy a large piece.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be some communication with the artist. So I'm telling myself, why have this thing which is not working anyway? I sold more in 2017 than I did in 2018. And I realized because in 2017, I was making more personal connections.
Mm-hmm.
And all those paintings I sold in 2017 were bought by conversations, by somebody finding me. And in 2018, I was trying to go the automated route,
Right.
and it didn't work for me. So coming back to you, and it's going to be different for all of us. It's not going to be the same. But coming back to you, especially as you consider these websites and knowing how I know you do not want anything more on your plate. It could be as simple as having a blog. It could be as simple as having a blogger blog and just writing. And when you write, you post the links. And even when there's a piece of art, you can still post it on the website and then on the blog and invite people to contact you.
Tell me how you get people to a blog.
When you write, obviously you're active on both Instagram and Facebook. So every time you write an article, you just post the link. You know, and the tricky way is to write one sentence and say read more. You know.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
My blog is actually hosted through my website because I've got a WordPress account. So if you go on my website, you can link in and follow my blog that way. I wouldn't know how to do it any other way.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't suggest WordPress for Marianne because I know you don't want to deal with stuff.
I would be, just sunk in cement if I
exactly.
got started. Somebody would have to do that for me.
Exactly. So the simplest is Blogger.
Okay. I have a GoDaddy site I have not launched. I put time into it. One of the things that it does up front, it's a website tonight thing that you have to plug your stuff in, and they give you little alteration. You can't really alter it too much. The very first page is these images of paintings, 4 of them, and it's in Flash. So one's up a few seconds, and then another comes up a few seconds. And it occurred to me over the weekend that I could change those pictures to not be, they could be me in an environment, in the environment in which I paint or which I'm painting, which would mean I'm going to be going back down to the coast and probably taking some pictures actually, in the surf, in the sawgrass, or doing something that immediately telegraphs that my paintings tend to have something to do with this environment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And a statement. They do allow you to write on top of it. And I thought I could make a very quick statement if I could figure out, the right one. And I'm not sure how many words it'll let me do, but I thought that would be one way to get the photograph and the connecting. They tell us that that's the most powerful thing. If you before you scroll down that first time, that first thing that comes up, they need to see you.
Yeah.
And they need to have a quick statement, and that is it. They're either staying or they're not staying.
Yes.
And I thought maybe I could do that with what I've got working at the moment.
Yeah. And I know for a fact, I've experienced it. I've seen other people experience it. People connect with us 100 times more when they see us in a photograph with our art.
Yeah.
It's what it is. So absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's what I'm throwing around. And as I understand it, a blog can be attached on GoDaddy. And this would be it would mean using the money I've already spent towards something, and just try to get it up and running and leave things where they're sitting, even though nobody said GoDaddy was a great sales site that I've looked at. It would still be a way in, and the money's already been spent. And it would be the simplest solution just to launch this thing and then start feeding stuff toward it from Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. For you, it has to be the simplest route.
It must.
Yeah. Yeah. And Blogger is free, by the way. You don't even have to, it's free. You don't have to update it's simple. But if you already have this one and you've already built it up to a point, then of course.
Yeah. There we go. And the only other thing that's going on is I'm hoping to spend the next 2 months from today on creating a newer body of work. I find this more challenging than I thought, just carving the time out to paint as much as necessary.
Yeah.
Because that's really the key.
Yeah, you've said that. So let's say in the next 2 months, if all you did was to paint, take a picture of the painting in process, take a picture of yourself and write your thoughts.
Yeah.
that would be more than enough. That would be more than enough.
That's the plan.
Yeah, that'd be more than enough. Okay. Do you have anything else for us?
That's it.
Okay. Okay, it's my turn. I don't know. I don't know what I have to share today. I think I mentioned that a friend of mine bought a painting just before Christmas. He bought a rose, and he bought it for his wife's birthday, which was the 4th of January. And he was just joking. He was like, "Oh, where's my friends and family discount?" I know he was joking. And so when I sent the painting, I added a few smaller paintings because I do abstract, but I just added a few. And he's a writer, not a professional writer, but he has published a book which he says nobody has bought except me. You know. So I made some small abstracts and I put in some of his words, and and I got a message from him saying that his wife loved his paintings more than the rose that he bought her. And he loved the rose, but he loved everything else. So I'm just sharing this to affirm what I said earlier on. In 2017, I not consciously, but when I would post something on Instagram, someone would comment, and a really strong comment, and I would contact the person, and a conversation would ensue, and some kind of friendship was formed. Those were the people who bought from me in 2017. And then in 2018, when I tried to go automate and internet marketing stuff, nothing worked. The few people who bought from me were still relationships that I have. So moving forward, I'm just going to trust that it's going to be one painting at a time, by cultivating these relationships, and yeah, that's all that's on my mind today. So coming back to the question that, oh yes, if I answer the same question that I asked all of you, when you come to my Instagram, I do want you to know I'm a hopeless romantic. I do. And I don't know what else to add to what I'm doing, apart from the fact that I have to be consistent, because I'm not. I only post when I'm inspired, But yes, I do want you to know that I'm this hopeless romantic, and all I do is dream. And that's the impression I want to put out there. So.
That should work.
So, yeah, that's all for me. Okay, is there anything else?
I have a question for you. I'm just trying to do two things at once, and I'm doing both badly. But we think some posts on this thing from my son.
Pardon?
Let me just put. Okay. We said that when we go onto your Instagram page. Thank you. I want us to know that you're a hopeless romantic. I can get my phone on. I'm just going to tell you whether or not I think it comes across, that's all.
Yes. I want to know.
Except that I can't get the... There we go. I think you should say that you're a hopeless romantic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You say that you dream of a story of romance, but you don't actually say that you're a hopeless romantic.
Okay. Okay. That didn't occur to me. So yes.
Yeah, I mean, because there's lots of flowers. There's talk of love and feminism, but yeah, I think you need to say that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
For me, it comes across as a lover of romantic images, of beauty that gets across the feeling of romance. But yeah, I think you could say more.
Okay.
I think if we saw more of you, that would be good too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I am. I don't know if you saw my best 9 and what I said.
Yes.
What 1, 2, 3, 4. I joked that my audience, liked my pictures more than my art. So yes, I am. I'm working on it. I am. So thank you. Yeah. Okay. So do we have any? Are we good for today?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
What have I got to think about for Friday? Tell me what to do, because I'm.
Alison, you look tired. Are you look really tired today?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I think
I'm still battling with bloody credit agencies and the tax office. I mean, it's just this whole thing with being hacked has turned into a nightmare. Trying to get my accounts reinstated. I mean, I've just seemed to spend all of my time slogging through that rather than doing what I want to do, which is finishing up.
Sorry.
Be sure you're getting enough rest.
Yeah, today you look exhausted.
I drove my son to Wales on Saturday and back, and I love driving. I absolutely love driving, but it's 3 hours each way, so 6 hours driving. It's exhausting. It takes me I'm getting old. It takes me a couple of days to get over it. So, I'll get there.
Do you do anything as far as outlandish self-care, like getting a massage or anything like that? Do you ever do that?
No, not a massage. I will go to my osteopath when I'm in dire pain, and he will effectively massage me in order that he can take everything back into place. But no, I've never. I have. My biggest problem is my body image. I hate the way I look, and because I hate the way I look, I don't bother to do anything about it. I just imagine clothes like this, and I hide.
Well,
which is why being a number 5 is absolutely spot on, because it says about being a recluse.
Well, I'll tell you what a huge gift is. If you can bring yourself to do it, you would be amazed at how it would make you feel. Go get a massage. And I don't mean a 30-minute one. I mean, go sign up for at least an hour, spend that money on yourself, and it almost will bring you to tears. The fact that you have given yourself, you realize how much you don't take care of yourself, or you don't give to yourself in such a generous way. I had one a week ago, and the reason I had this is because I gave it as a gift to somebody else that wouldn't use it. And I told him, look, it's going to expire. And I have a real problem with spending a chunk of money and watching it go down the drain. I mean, even though I've done it many times, it just seemed to me like this is something he should have gone and done. So I said, well, give it to someone else, and if you're not going to use it. And he says, well, I'll give it back to you. And I stared at him. I thought, well, okay, I'll take it back. And I used the whole thing on one massage. I didn't split it into 3 like I could have. I got a 120-minute massage. Let me tell you, you should go do this for yourself, because it just puts you in a different world. And you realize how, for somebody like us, because I can relate to you on this plane, we don't do this enough for ourselves. We just don't. I don't have my nails done or my toenails done, or I don't have anybody else color my hair. I do all this stuff myself because I don't see, to me, it seems outlandish to pay somebody else to do those special things that I see women around me paying for all the time. The one that stands out is having massage because there just isn't anything better than that. Let someone else take care of you for over an hour.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And in the midst of all this terrible stuff you're dealing with, it would really be a good thing. It'd be a health promoting thing.
Okay. I should look into that. Thank you.
I'm looking at your self-care, and I see a day without interruptions.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Love that.
But the interesting thing is when you look on the other side, there's also solitude.
I love
Right.
solitude.
So when I pair solitude up with a day without interruptions, that's even a bigger piece of the pie. You know. So Marianne is suggesting a spa, a massage. I'm suggesting a whole day. You know.
Just little bites at a time, all right?
You know, a whole spa day from morning to evening.
You know? Worse.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you has anybody gone through the book that Beata posted?
No, not yet. It's here.
Not yet.
I downloaded it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
Right. Okay. So what I loved about that book was, again, I'm not criticizing anything. I loved everything that we did last year, but I realized all this 100% focus on business it's not working for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's not working for me. And what I loved about the book was it was very broad. You know, there's pampering, and there's, you know, where we're getting our energy from, and it's holistic. And I think as artists, this whole heavy pounding on business thing, it's not going to work for us. You know.
Yeah.
So
yes. Well, I don't mind doing some of it. Some of it I quite enjoy, because I think that's because of the analytical part of who I was as an accountant. I like everything all sorted out. I just resent the amount of time it takes.
Yeah. And there has to be balance. Because like you said, you're a mother, you're a wife. There are all these other things going on. So it's the typical story for all of us women. Where do we feature in this painting? You know? So yeah. Yes, we need to be a part of the painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
I will read it now, I promise.
Yeah.
No, not another thing to put on your to-do
list. I'm going to fill in the blanks. And then, Beata, are you going to post this? Are you going to launch this on, oh God, what's it called? Kindle.
Kindle.
Oh.
I downloaded
the course that I've been doing, the course I was telling you about, it tells you how to write, well, once you've written a book, how to put it onto Kindle for free so that you get a wider audience of people that will download it.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
I'm working through it slowly, girls. I'm getting there.
Okay.
But if you're really interested, I'm sure I can find a way of, like I did with that thing the other day, photographing it or filming it and then sharing it on the group. I'll see what I can figure out for you. But it was interesting the way you do it.
Okay, I'm definitely interested in that.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
I'll get there.
So I'm going to post
about I was going to work out how to do Google Hangouts, wasn't I? Still haven't done it.
Okay, we'll figure it out. I'm not adding anything to your lists. No.
Let's go do some self-care.
So I'm going to post all the self-care for all of our numbers. I'm going to post them in our group. And yes, let's try and look at this as human beings, not just as these, art producing machines which have to sell. It's not inspiring. All of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So have a wonderful week, everyone.
You too.
You too.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.